You don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might flash a little. Get addicted to the content, got them binge watching. You don't like it, then you want invited, bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clocking. They don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back so you start try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey everybody, welcome to the hood table. How's everybody doing this Sunday morning? I know I got up around probably 5:30 this morning. Excuse me. And noticed that a lot of people were online doing live videos. A lot of people who don't normally do live videos are doing live videos. Some of them being stars, like I think it was who was it? Married to Medicine. Which one was it? Was it Married to Medicine or was it Nene Leakes? One of them went live this morning, but and been going live like every day. A lot of different stars, a lot of different celebrities, because everybody is quarantining themselves. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people are quarantining themselves. And I think it's really important that we do that and do listen to, the CDC, the physicians, the news, because a lot of people are not taking it serious. And because of that, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we are going to have a live discussion with a nurse practitioner here in my city. She's been a nurse for a very long time, a nurse practitioner, research coordinator, RN. So she's had many hats since, starting her nursing career years ago, but now she is a nurse practitioner, and we will be talking to her live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you'll receive the notifications whenever we go live or whenever we upload. And again, it's 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So we're going to have a live discussion regarding everything that's going on in the world tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. But anywho, right now we are about to do a review on the new Netflix miniseries, and it is about the life of Madam C.J. Walker, and the Netflix series is actually called Self-Made, and is inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. Her original name being Sarah Breedlove. So the story is written by Nicole Asher, produced by LeBron James. A lot of y'all know who LeBron James is. I'm not sure who Nicole Asher is, but she is a writer. But anyway, LeBron James is the executive producer for Self-Made. This is his latest venture. And again, it's based on the life of Madam C.J. Walker, who was the wealthiest woman back in the 1910s. Not the wealthiest Black woman, but the wealthiest woman back in the 1910s. And that alone has been phenomenal. Hey, hold on. Let me make sure I say your name right. Cedarholic Gardens. Hey, how you doing this afternoon? You said you watched it yesterday. Did you loved it? Really? See, I loved it too. And I wanted to do a review on it and also get your opinions, the others who watched the show, because I've been seeing some okay reviews. I've been seeing some not so nice reviews, and I actually enjoyed it. So, this is another show under LeBron James' belt. And I think he and the other writers and, everybody who was involved in this and the actors were awesome. I really do believe that. Yes, and that's one point that I wanted to talk about too, because one of the reviews that I read, because all throughout history, from the first time I learned, at a young age, from the first time I learned about Madam C.J. Walker, was that she was the first female self-made millionaire in history. But one thing somebody had pointed out in a blog was that they said she wasn't actually a millionaire when she died. They said that she actually, her net worth when she died was $600,000. They said when she died in 1919, she had around $600,000 to her name, which today would be worth like $8.9 million now. And even if that is true, that when she died in 1919, she had around $600,000. I mean, that still is that's magnificent for somebody in that time and that day and age to make that kind of money, starting with limited resources, not much schooling, no college, no. I mean, she didn't have anybody to show her how to do it. She didn't have, you know, like, remember when she was trying to work with Addie? That Addie character had me going, child. That Addie character really had me going. But when she was working with Addie and she was selling her hair products, she had, approached her and told her, I want to work with you. I want to start selling for you. I want to, do more in the business with you and help your business grow. But Addie felt like she didn't have the look. She didn't have the look. She wasn't light enough. Her hair wasn't nice enough. And she didn't want that. She didn't think from that image of Sarah that people would buy from her. And then when she did take some of the products and she went out there on her own and she sold every last bottle or every last jar, even when she came back to Addie and told her, I sold them all. I can do it. Trust me to do it. She still was shading her like, you stole from me. That's the only thing she could think of. And I was like, wow, that's the only thing she thought of was you stole from me, not oh, you did a great job. That's awesome. That's fabulous. You're going to be my top saleswoman, and none of that. None of that. And so I like how Sarah, she stepped out on faith. She stepped out on faith and she, went into business for herself and started creating a product. And I guess there was some criticism too over as far as like her, how they were saying that she stole her product. I don't think she stole the product. She probably stole the basis of her product, but she added something to it to make it better. So yeah, you said that was still a ton. Thank you. That was a ton of money. I probably never ever make that amount of money in my life. not at one whop. Over time, over years, yeah, we probably make that much money before we die. But in one whop, I probably never, unless I hit the Powerball or something. Unless I hit the Powerball or somebody that I don't know that's really rich in my family that I have no idea of, they leave me some kind of, inheritance. But yeah, she lived right next to Mr. J.D. Rockefeller. And didn't you think that was interesting what he said? Mr. Rockefeller, what he said was when she approached him when he was out playing golf, and he was asking her, what's going on? What's all that ruckus over there? The people, they up there got picket signs and, stuff like that. And she told him what was happening. And he said, what you do? You fire them. What do y'all think about what he said? She didn't, though. She didn't fire him. He said fire him, but a lot of people is like that in the business, the big wigs. Like, if people don't want to do their job, if people don't want to do what I ask them, if people don't like the pay that I ask them, just let them go. Just hire them. But she didn't. Instead, she kept them all on, and she told them that she will not sell her hair products in that store. and she will allow the women to keep selling the products for her. But you said she definitely improved. Yes, she improved the product. She improved the product because if you look in the beginning, some of the ladies who were using the product, you saw how their hair, it was a little bit more finer. But once what she put in it, when she put her foot in it into the recipe or whatnot, the concoction, them people hair was slayed and laid. You would have thought they had perms. Shoot, how well their hair was looking. And then they put the hot comb on it and the pressing comb. I don't know what do they call them? The pressing comb, the hot comb. I don't know. I call them both. But anyway, you said you thought it was true of how he ran his. I think it's true. I think it's true, and I think that's true about a lot of people. I mean, we see it. We see it today. You don't like something, you go talk to your boss about it, and you might find yourself standing in the unemployment line the very next day. But yeah, I think her taking the high ground was much smart. Yes, it was much smarter, and it allowed her to keep giving jobs to those people who helped her start off. Like one of the reviews I made, one of the reviews that I had saw, it says something like Addie's I'm sorry, not Addie, but Sarah, Madam CJ Walker, she wasn't self-made. That's what some people were saying in the reviews. They were like, you know what? They say she's a trailblazing, self-made Black businesswoman, but they said it overlooks the people who helped her make history. That's what one writer said. And I was like, well, just because you have a lot of people helping you out in your business or in your company, in your venture, it doesn't mean that you're not self-made. I mean, as far as the product goes that she was selling, a lot of women needed it. A lot of women, couldn't get out to purchase all the items that they needed, because you have to keep in mind, to make the amount of money she made back then and the time that we were in back then, y'all know it was like 2 plagues going on. Like right now we're dealing with the COVID. Right now we're dealing with the COVID. They're making us all stay at home. Everybody got to quarantine themselves, and the schools are closed. The colleges are closed. A lot of businesses are closing, and people working from at home. And back then, around this time, around the time that she was, starting off her business and doing her business, they was dealing with 2 epidemics, 2 of them. And one of them was the Ebonic plague. So, and the other one was encephalitis pandemic. So with not as many resources back then, the entire world, it was over 1 million people that died from each one, from the bubonic and from the encephalitis. Over 1 million people. People had to stay home. People quarantined. People weren't going to the salons and things like that because people was afraid of getting sick. So that feat alone, to make that much money around that much time, going door to door and managing to get people to talk to you and try your products, I thought that was amazing. Every company needs somebody to work for them. Every company needs a secretary or somebody to package the product. But for them to say that she wasn't self-made, I thought that was kind of crazy. You said disposable society. Yep. You said agree, hot comb. Yeah. That's what my mama called it. She's like, hot comb. Where that hot comb at? Put that hot comb on the stove. I used to hate the hot comb. Okay, I didn't hate it. I used to have a hate-love relationship with the hot comb, because my mama, she would press the mess out of my hair. Hair be just slayed. But man, sometimes my ears and my neck suffered. Oh, and the forehead. I remember I had a mark so big on my forehead, people thought I was being abused. I'm like, no, I just jumped and my head hit the, you know how the grease be popping when you get your hair pressed, and that grease be popping, and I jumped and the bottom part of the hot comb had hit my forehead. Man, That mess hurt. That mess hurt. But yeah, those were the days. Those were the days. But I thought it was really good. And I actually was looking forward to the movie, but I mean, the miniseries on Netflix. But I didn't look, besides, the main character, Octavia. I knew she was starring in it, but I really didn't look into it to see who the other stars was. And then to see that Blair Underwood was in there too. I was like, I should have known Blair was going to be in there. They be putting him in them old flicks. And he still looks good. I'm like, black don't crack when it comes to Blair Underwood. His body and everything. I mean, it ain't like he was, ripped. It ain't like he had, just ripped all over his, chest. I mean, not his chest, but his stomach. But to be his age, he still looks good. I was like, go ahead, Blair. Go ahead, Blair. And I thought that was as far as like her not allowing anybody to choose her destiny back then, to choose the role she took. Like a lot of times, even her husband, even him was telling her, no, we ain't gonna do this. No, we ain't gonna move. No, we ain't gonna do. I'm the man, and this my house. And she was like, when she told him we gonna move to Indiana, he's like, no, we ain't gonna move. We stand right here. And then the next thing you see him with luggages and they dressed up traveling. I was like, yeah, see, sometimes you have to put your foot down when you really have a dream and you really truly believe in what you are trying to do. That's one thing that I admire about Madam C.J. Walker. So as far as they were saying, a matter of fact, hold on, let me pull it up right now. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna read you what this says in this website. It said by the time of her death in 1919, she had around $600,000 to her name, which would be about $8.9 million now, which is still an astonishing amount of money for any Black woman to possess in the Jim Crow era. But they said it's the self-made part that makes her story stand out. They said she was born free in Louisiana and made her market money up north with very few resources at her disposal. And in the midst of the global virus pandemic that was going on and causing a lot of people to lose their jobs, be confined to their homes, or risk their lives going to grocery stores or to care for patients, it was a lot more difficult than usual to try to make that kind of money back then. But then they was like, as far as being self-made again, she had a lot of people who was helping her out, a lot of people who was opening doors for her. A lot of times their doors were shut down. They were shut. And another one, how God does it. Shut one door, open another door, shut one window, open another window. Y'all know how it goes. But they were saying how she had very valuable staff who also helped her get to the place where she is right now. So I still call her self-made. I still call her self-made. I think what she did was absolutely amazing. And one of the scenes, the boxing scene, what do you guys think about the boxing scene? Because I have read somewhere too where somebody had something negative to say about the boxing scene. I think they showed the boxing scene maybe 2 or 3, and it was just kind of like her daydreaming. It was kind of like her daydreaming. She's in the boxing ring. She got her gloves on. She got her, and then somebody was like, Addie was in the ring as well, and they were getting ready to box, getting ready to fight. And some people had something negative to say, like, I don't know why they put that part in the movie or in the miniseries. I thought it was kind of comical. What do y'all think? I thought it was kind of comical. I mean, it as far as the boxing scene, what I took from that part was the fact that, she was fighting to get where she knew she could be, and she didn't want to let nobody in her way. And she probably wanted or had the desire to take Addie down and beat her butt to the white meat, but she knew she couldn't do that. But she visioned it. She fantasized about beating her up, about winning, coming out on top. That's what I took from that. So I don't know. Rochelle Bailey, you said you thought it was so good. I did too. I absolutely loved it. I really did. I absolutely loved it. And one thing, one of the people that I follow, I don't know if y'all know who T.S. Madison is, but she's a trans woman. And T.S. Madison, she had posted on her community wall on her YouTube community wall. She said, "Thank you, Netflix, for this wonderfully put together story of Madam C.J. Walker, played by the extremely talented Octavia Spencer." She said, this is from T.S. Madison, trans woman, the YouTuber. She said, "I found so many things in this series so similar to my business journey. And this show gave me so many affirmations in my story. As a Black trans businesswoman," this is from T.S. Madison, the beautiful T.S. Madison. She said, "As a Black trans businesswoman with a vision for my brand and my people, I needed to see this. Anyone out there looking for a great inspiration during quarantine, this is the one." And T.S. Madison says she's about to watch it all over again. So that is from the T.S. Madison. I follow her on YouTube, IG, and Facebook, and she is a trans woman. If y'all don't know who T.S. Madison is, y'all probably seen her on some shows and just haven't even recognized her. But she used to be on the Queen's Court with Kaya, the rapper Kaya. So her and Kaya used to have a Queen's Court show that they did on YouTube, but then they end up breaking up, and now T.S. Madison has the Supremes Queen's Court on her YouTube channel, which I watch as much as I can. I try to watch it as much as I can. But anywho, that is what she had to say. And one thing that I had wanted to mention about in the movie, being that it was in the early 1900s, the earliest part of the 19th century, still around the time where people were not out the closet like they are today. Sarah's daughter, Lelia, she so beautiful. She actually was, I don't know if she was gay or bi. Her daughter Lilia was played by Tiffany Haddish. And there was a young girl in there who she had met, and the young girl, you could tell like immediately, like she, was interested in Lilia. But I didn't know that she was gay at first. But you notice how at the beginning, when we first was introduced to that character at the beginning, she was dressed in dresses. She was dressed real feminine. And Lilia, she didn't see what we saw. Like, this girl likes you. This woman likes you. She didn't see it. And then on top of that, the girl was dressed up, like looking feminine. She was looking feminine. And then later on in the show, you see how she started wearing pants. Because early back then, women weren't too much allowed to wear pants. Then later on the show, she started wearing pants, but they had also moved further up north as well. You said you had to start your repeater. I hear it was having difficulty. I'm back. Oh, okay. Thank you for coming back. Hey, Miss Hogg, you will definitely check this out on Netflix. Happy Sunday. Thank you. Definitely check it out. I thought it was awesome. And the thing about it it's inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker. And a lot of people thought that this was going to be a bio. It wasn't a bio per se. It was just inspired, from her life. So a lot of things in the movie didn't really happen. You know how they make movies and some things they kind of exaggerate, or you know what I mean? So it was inspired by the life of Octavia Spencer. As far as her husband, though, that part is true. When Blair Underwood was cheating on her with Dora, remember when he was cheating on her with Dora? Dora worked for Addie, actually. She was one of the saleswomen for Addie. And when she had, back then, that's one of the things that, you know, is inspiring as well. Because back then, we know that a lot of women, once they man cheat on them, once they man cheat on them, back then that was just like something to overlook. You could get mad, you could cry about it, you could whine about it, you could beg them to stop and all that kind of stuff. But back then, especially if women had kids, when a man cheated on them, it was like, you know, they just kept going with the flow. They just kept going with the flow. She was like, when she found out he cheated on her with Doris, she was like, pack your ish, nigga. She wasn't having it. I'm like, and that speaks words, you know, that speaks powerful words back then, because it just didn't happen. It just did. Even in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, a lot of men cheating on their women, stepping out, having kids on the side, and the women would be right at home. But she was a different type of woman. She was a different type of woman. She had her own mind. She had her goals. She had her dreams. And she didn't need him. She did not need him. You said she definitely transitioned to being much more. But yes, you noticed that too. And I mean, some people probably didn't notice it. Some people, because they might not have noticed, been focusing on her attire, but I focus on a lot of details. I mean, I do reviews on TV shows and movies all the time, so I focus on a lot of things that be going on in the movies. And 1 second, I mean, if you would have cut her hair all off, you would have thought she was a man. You would have thought she was a young man, a young gentleman. That's what you would have thought she was. But yeah, things were transitioning. You know, as the years were going, as the years progressing, you know, and it was probably a little easier, you know, back then. I don't know a lot about what happens, you know, with the gays, and I know they weren't accepted back then. Like, you know, I know they weren't accepted. I know lesbians, gays, trans, and, you know, the things that they used to call them back then. I won't use those words, but there was another word they used to use for people who now call themselves trans back then. But yeah, it was not accepted. It was not accepted. But again, once they came up north, you know, up north, things were a little more accepting. So you gradually saw her go from wearing these dresses and dressing and looking just like a regular old woman, a young lady. And then she started wearing, you know, pants and vest. I mean, she had the whole get up. Blazers, trousers, she had the whole get up. You said, I love how this was presented, and I think the inspiration of the creative license is on spot in this miniseries. I think it was good too. And I think LeBron James did a good job. I think LeBron James did a good job. Thank you, Miss Hall. You said you are detail oriented. Thank you. Well, y'all know I'm also a cake artist. I'm a custom cake decorator. Let me correct that. I'm a personal custom cake decorator. So yeah, I do pay a lot of attention to details. You said my wonderful hubby just fed me a strawberry girl. I think I will keep him a while longer. Yes, you better. You better. You better. But yeah, you said, yeah, okay, I already read that comment. She definitely transitioned to be more, but yeah. And I'm glad they showed that. I really am glad they showed that, because it was like a real story. It was kind of like a real story. Like, I know it was based off the life, inspired by the life of Madam C.J. Walker, but it was given like real stories back then. Men cheating on their woman, men you know, having men not being the main breadwinners, and you saw how that worked out. Female, you know, being a main breadwinner back then, that was unheard of. It was women making money back then, but not like that. $600,000 in her bank account when she died. or that was her net worth when she died. That's how much she was worth when she died, $600,000. And I'm sure he wasn't worth nothing after they divorced and had many regrets because you saw he was trying to come back. He was trying to come back. He apologized. He was trying to come back to her, but she was like, "Nope, don't need you. Keep it pushing." You said you were shocked to show them in that era actually get caught. Yes, that shocked me too. It did. It shocked me too. I didn't think that we would see any scenes like that. I mean, it wasn't too graphic. It was a kiss, but still, it also showed how some people back then who are not so accepting of maybe their children being gay or lesbian or trans or bi or whatnot. It showed her not feeling it at first because that just wasn't the way that people, it still is not the way that people believe you should be. But back then, in those times when it's really not accepted, I mean, you could get killed. You can get killed today for that kind of behavior. But back then, sure, you can get hung up and strung up from a tree in a heartbeat without blinking, before blinking, for having a relationship with the same sex. So for Sarah, Madam C.J. Walker, for her to finally accept it, like how she was kept telling her daughter, every now and then she would slang them words at her. I wish we had some kids running around the house. I wish you had some kids. When you gonna have some kids? She was hooking her up with this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And it really didn't seem like her daughter Leela really knew that she was gay. It didn't seem like she knew that. Like when the other girl was coming on her and everything, she couldn't even see it. She just treated her like a good old friend, like the homegirl. This the homegirl, this the homegirl. But I'm like, she kept hooking her up with different dudes and stuff. And she's like, "Mama, you keep hooking me up with all these guys." And then finally, Madam CJ, she was just like, "You know what? I just want what makes you happy." And that was around the time when I think she realized that she was sick and that she was dying and didn't have that much longer to live, and she wanted to make sure she instilled everything that she done as far as her business venture into her daughter, and make sure that her daughter could pass it on to her children if they, if she ever had children. But I think matter of fact, she never had children. That's right, she never had children. Remember, they had adopted that little girl. They had adopted that little girl, one of the neighbor's kids, because the neighbor, didn't they say she had like 14 kids? Had 14 kids, and the little girl had came over because she wanted a job. She wanted to help sell products and stuff. And, Layla, she felt sorry for her because their family was struggling. Everybody was struggling back then with the two epidemics, the two plagues going around back then. A lot of businesses were closed, and we think we got it bad now. They making nickels back then, and them nickels is being taken away because of two plagues that was going around killing millions of people back in the early 1900s. So, yeah, the child, she came from a family of 14, and they took her in, and they, continued to raise her as their own and adopted her, and then she ended up having children. So her children ended up running the business for a while after she had passed. You said, yeah, no dialysis. Yep, no dialysis back then in the day. Kidney disease was a death. It sure was. Yep. And Fairy May. Yep. So, yeah, I thought it was a wonderful movie. I do recommend that you watch it. I do recommend, y'all know I love my Netflix documentaries. Netflix, in the beginning, when they started doing a lot of documentaries, they was getting a lot of flack. They was getting attacked, just like Lifetime. Remember Lifetime? Lifetime, when they start doing certain type of documentaries, people was like, you couldn't pick nobody that looks closer to the real person. You just ruined their whole story, their whole bio. Netflix got a lot of flack for a whole bunch of documentaries and Lifetime. But they both, Lifetime and Netflix, they both, like some of the most recent documentaries, miniseries I done seen over the past few years have been really awesome. I'm really impressed. And again, LeBron James, his production company, they did a really good job. LeBron James, I didn't know he had so many productions under him, but he got 28 now. 28. That's how many he has for movies and TV shows. So he's doing really good. He's doing really well in this industry. Oh, and another thing, I just want to let y'all know that LeBron James, his production company, is working on another mini series, and it's called On Her Own Ground. And it's another mini series of the life of Madam C.J. Walker. And that's also produced by James, and it's currently right now being filmed. So there's going to be a part 2 miniseries of Madam C.J. Walker. So I'm looking forward to seeing that too. So y'all make sure that y'all keep your eyes and ears open for that. And as soon as I find out that it's going to be coming on Netflix, or where I'm assuming that it's going to be on Netflix again, I will let y'all know as soon as I find out. But yeah, so you said she got educated at Spelman. What a gift. Yes. And they promised her parents that if they let them adopt her, they promised her parents that they will make sure they will do their best to send her to college. And they did. They honored that. They didn't just take that child in and give her a place to stay, so she, get away from the struggle, that her family was going through. But they promised to send her to college, and she made it. She graduated, got married, had a family, and her children was running that business, child. They was running that business. And I do believe that they still was helping out the girl's family. From what I heard, I still believe that they was still, Madam CJ and Leela, I believe they was helping out the girl's family as well. But I don't know if it was just something in particular about that specific child that they just knew, or saw something in her, that she would be successful, or I don't know what it was, why they chose that particular child out of all the children. But you said, well, maybe the criticism made them step it up, kind of saying, so not to throw garbage at an entertainment. So not throw garbage at us, entertain us, and be good. Good to know I am sight. Yes. You are right. You are right. Shoot, give us something good to watch. Shoot, and especially right now with us being quarantined. Like I said, I've been seeing people who never go live on YouTube live, like throughout the day, like 2, 3, 4 times a day, because a lot of people is at home. So people is bored and they just coming online because they want to talk to somebody. They want to talk to the peoples out here. Shoot, we all going through it right now. A lot of people is ripping and running every day, trying to find tissue, trying to find vegetables, trying to find, cleaning supplies and food. Every store that I've been going through, it just looked like it looks bad. It looks bad. But so hopefully everybody is staying prayed up. Hopefully everybody is being as safe as possible, washing those hands profusely, staying home, like really staying home. I had a talk with my son last night, and he was not happy with what I told him about him visiting his friends and stuff. He's a college student, so he's doing his classes online, and some of his friends just came back from where they were going to college. And you know how it is when kids get back together, they home from college, they want to get together, they want to go here, do this, do that. And I'm like, y'all kids act like y'all don't know that y'all can get sick too. And his friends is like, but we ain't got it. We ain't sick. Ain't nobody at our house sick. I'm like, some people be sick and don't know they sick and still could be passing around. And so, because he wanted his friends to spend the night, and normally that wouldn't even be a question. He just knows he been best friends with the same group of friends for years, since like grade school. This is my youngest son. And so I told him, I said, no, ain't nobody. They were talking about, well, we can just stay in the living room, Mom. We can stay in the living room. You can't stay in the living room. I have to walk through the living room to get through my kitchen, and you have to walk through the living room through the rest of the house to get to the bathroom. And like, how y'all gonna stay in the bedroom? I mean, in the living room. And I'm like, I'm not saying they sick. I'm not saying that. And God forbid they get sick. But a lot of these younger people out here, they are not taking it serious at all. And I don't know if it's because the parents are the ones out there shopping and trying to find stuff and trying to make sure we got everything we need at home. And they just, at home playing video games, watching TV. And so they are getting antsy. They want to be around their friends. And so yesterday he went to play basketball. The gyms are closed. So they went to play basketball at an outside basketball court. And I told him, be careful, go play for a little while. I know y'all want to get out the house. Go play for a little while. And then after that, he went over to one of his best friend's house. And I called him later. I said, after today, I don't want you going anywhere. I don't want you going unless we absolutely have to. And he's like, but Mom, it's boring staying at home all day. I'm like, you better, we got Hulu, we got Netflix, you got your video game, we got cable, we got the Fire Stick, we got, what else? Oh, we got the Disney app, so we can watch any Disney movie, Disney show. We got the BET Plus app. We got, oh my God, we got like everything. We got everything. And I know even the grown-ups, they getting antsy. They want to go out. They want to, go out and hit the malls and hit the kids. They just want to do that. And I'm like, no, sorry. I know you upset. That does not make you happy, but I'm looking out for your best interest. And I even turned down a friend the other day. She called me. What day was this? Is Sunday. So yeah, she called me yesterday around like 10. Matter of fact, she inboxed me on Facebook and she said, girl, we going to the bar at noon. And I'm like, well, actually the place is called the Library Pub. So when I saw Library Pub, I'm like, what kind of library is that? Why y'all going to the library at noon? And she's like, no, it's a bar called the Library Pub. And I said, I'm not going to no bar. And she's like, girl, I can't do it. I'm tired of sitting in this house. I need to get out the house. I need to go. And I'm like, I'm not going to no bar. And I said, and what happened to the 10-person? It's only supposed to be 10 people in there. I said, are we like going to, have to sit outside and wait to get a seat if it's more than 10 people in there? Or do we have a limit how long we can be in there since it can only be 10 people in there? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to the restaurants aren't even open so you can eat inside the restaurants. I don't want to go to no bar. If I want to drink, I'm going to run down to the stove and grab me a bottle and come back home and I'm going to drink. I'm going to turn up. But I was like, no. She was like, well, I'm going. I said, well, child, okay. Be blessed. Stay safe. But a lot of people is not taking this serious. And yeah, FaceTime, like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want nobody to get sick. And more people are catching it every single day. More and more cities is, catching it every single day. So we really have to take it serious. And that is absolutely why I reached out to somebody I know personally who is a nurse practitioner, RN, research coordinator for the hospital, and has been in the nursing field for a very long time. And she's going to be on our show tomorrow night. So make sure you have the notification bell hit because we are going to have a live discussion with the nurse and get it from a a nurse practitioner's perspective of what's going on in our world right now. So we're going to chit chat with her tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I already posted the notification for the live. So if you have the notification bell set, you will get the notification when we are about to go live. I think they send the notifications out like 30 minutes before live starts. So yeah, be looking forward to that. The person that I'm talking to, I think, oh my gosh, she has so many degrees. She's very smart, very intelligent, a wonderful, beautiful nurse. And again, she's been in the nursing field for a long time. She's now a nurse practitioner at a hospital here in Omaha, Nebraska. So I trust to have her on our show and for her to give us, important information that we absolutely need to know, information that she might have heard from being in the medical field about this, and, give us some information on what's been going through, because a lot of people on here talking about it. A lot of people saying it comes from the 5G network. It's come from this. It comes from that. People calling it the China virus. I mean, getting that from the president. I'm like, how dare he call it the Chinese virus? I thought that was so insensitive. But then we all know that he is an insensitive person. So I wouldn't think I just thought that was really messed up. You said your hubby just went to our local Walmart and he says the shelves are better stocked today. Just buy what you need, and please, from an RN of 25 years myself, please buy and use bleach, kills 99% of all germs. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I just bought a thing of bleach, and I bought bleach. I couldn't find any 409, so I bought bleach. I bought Lysol. I couldn't find any hand soap. I went to several stores, couldn't find no hand soap. So I bought 2 big bottles of palm olive dish liquid. Couldn't find no hand sanitizer. So we everybody is just doing what they can do, to try to stay healthy. But I'm glad you said that. Let me put that back up there again. I'm glad you said that. Buy what you need. Just buy what you need. A lot of reasons why these stores is packed, because I know it's a time for us to be careful and be smart and be safe. But there are people out here just buying way more than they need, like way more than they need. And it hurts. I saw this picture on Facebook the other day, and it said, think about her when you at the stores buying up everything on the shelves. And it had a little old lady who was bent over, and she had like a walker, and she was standing in front of the aisle where the tissue was supposed to be. And they had this little old lady looking up and down the aisle, looking for tissue. People aren't thinking about the people who can't get who don't have access, like some of us with a vehicle sitting outside, or, to go to the store. We talking about people who have to go store to store to store to store. And some of them don't have cars. Some of them are sick. Some of them are handicapped. So, and the elderly. So, please be vigilant out there. Just be vigilant and be caring and thoughtful of other people out there. You said Dollar General had a great bathroom cleaner with bleach too. I might try that. I don't have to go out the house anytime soon. I don't have to go out anytime soon, but the next time I do go out, I'll look for that at Family Dollar. I work from home, so I had already been working from home for years, through my company. And now that this happened, of course, they got everybody working from home now. And we have different locations around the United States, and they got everybody working from home right now. And a matter of fact, after I finish talking to you guys, I'm going to punch in, because they need us to do overtime this weekend. And yesterday I did 8 hours of overtime. Last night I worked from like 2 to midnight. Yeah, I worked almost like 2 to 11, something like that. Then I took like an hour break and came on live and chit chat with you guys for a minute. Then went back to work. Today, well, by the time I get off of here, it'll be like 1:30. So today I'll probably work like 2 to 10 again as well, to try to help us get caught up. Because the thing about it is, since a lot of people are using ISPs to work from home these days. Okay, love you. Bye. You got your uniform out the dryer? All right. Have a good day at work. But that's my oldest son. He stopped by to pay me a visit. I was like, I'm about to go live. I'm scheduled to go live. He said, okay, I'll just sit out here, and him and his girlfriend watching TV, watching cable. But yeah, so because of the ISP getting overused a lot now, we sometimes our system is slow, and every night we have to shut down, and they have to do something every night to the system, and to try to keep it running smoothly and everything, because I work in disability, and in the disability field, people who are disabled and can't work, they need those checks too. And we supposed to have a 24-hour turnaround, and with the computers running not like they normally do, we're getting a little behind. So that's why they need people to work. So my supervisor texted me yesterday morning. He was like, you need some overtime? I'm like, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. So I told him I would work some overtime this weekend. But yeah, you said you can't work from home. I work in a pediatrician office. And that's the thing. A lot of people cannot work at home. And I have to give it up to those who have to go out and actually be out there in whatever field they in, whether it's the people who work at not McDonald's, but Walmart, them too, McDonald's, all the restaurant people, all the Walmarts, the dollar stores, the Walgreens, the hospitals, the clinics. My sister, she works at a plasma bank. They can't work from home. People still coming in. People still donating plasma because we still need plasma. We still need blood at the blood banks. They can't stay home. So I have to, give it up to you guys and thank you guys. We have to appreciate those who have very important jobs and can't do it from home. And they have to be in people's faces in the vicinity of other people all the time, not knowing if people are sick, not knowing if they ain't sick, and then the stores and stuff, they out there restocking these shelves as fast as they can. That's why I said be vigilant out there, be caring, be kind, be patient, and think about other people, during this time. We're going to get through it. It might take a minute, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. You say you enjoy my live stream, practical, useful information with no drama. Much love. Hey, that's how we get down over here. That's one thing about the hood table. We like to get down over here, have fun, talk about serious topics, talk about not so serious topics, movies, TV shows, whatever. We do it all over here. So I'm glad you enjoyed the live stream, and thanks everybody for tuning in today. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and if you are not already subscribed and you enjoy the content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get the notifications. And again, one more time, tomorrow night we will be live with a nurse practitioner who works at a local hospital here, and she's going to be talking to us about everything that's going on and give us, advice, and we can ask her questions and, all that jazz. So that's 8:00 tomorrow night. So again, make sure you have your notification bell hit. And until the meantime, in between time, my Primetime TV squad and the Hood Table squad, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces. Oh, we got one more comment in here. You said your eldest works at a 24-hour gas station in California, but he is absolutely a clean freak long before the pandemic, so he is good. Awesome. That's awesome. And those jobs are very important too. Very important, because we need gas to get around, to driving around to all these stores. So again, thanks everybody for their services. We really do appreciate you guys. Thank you. And see you guys later. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll go live again because I'm about to do some overtime from home and probably be working till probably late into the night, 10, 11 midnight, probably late into the night. So if I don't see y'all later tonight, it'll be tomorrow night, 8 p.m., y'all, live with a nurse practitioner. See you later. Deuces.